Without these guys, the NFL would look drastically different. These are the players who have shaped America's most popular sports league as we know it today. With their talent on and off the field, these are the stars who brought about rule and culture change to the NFL. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we look at the top 10 players who changed the NFL. And a big shout out to Rocket3 for suggesting this list. We do hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, feel free to click subscribe down below for more cool videos every single day. Number 10, O.J. Simpson. Simpson is the key reason why the NFL's popularity was rising in the 70s. The first running back to reach the 2,000-yard mark, Simpson was a key figure who helped grow the league as the other sports distantly trailed. O.J. transcended sports not just for his football talent but for his marketability. Stuck with the Bills for most of his career, a football purgatory at the time, Simpson became a star due to his bankability. Appearing in ads for Hertz, as well as the Naked Gun films, Simpson was arguably the most popular athlete in the nation at his peak, which is why his post-playing career shocked so many. Number 9, Johnny Unitas. While influential passers like Otto Graham were important in the history of the NFL, Johnny Unitas was the best quarterback in the sport as the NFL was surpassing baseball as the most popular game in America. Setting the blueprint for modern passers, Unitas is credited as the first quarterback to run the 2-minute drill, and for setting the mark of most wins by a passer. Ranked as the best quarterback ever by Sporting News in 2004, Unitas was the winning quarterback in the '58 NFL Championship, widely considered the best game ever. When he retired in '73, Unitas held the record for almost every passing record. Number 8, John Mackey. One of the best tight ends ever, John Mackey was the perfect guy for our number 8 pick. Arguably the greatest tight end ever, the 5-time Pro Bowler was a tremendous blocker and receiver, but his post-playing career may have been more impactful, which really says something. Mackey was the first president of the Players Union after the AFL-NFL merger. An active voice, Mackey helped get key players financial support from the league in retirement and helped give players greater power with free agency. Without Mackey, league-shifting free agent signings like Reggie White, Drew Brees, and Peyton Manning may not have happened. Future influential union president Gene Upshaw was certainly influenced by Mackey. Number 7, Bob Hayes. Thanks to Bob Hayes, the NFL was blessed with modern speedsters like Randy Moss, Deshaun Jackson, and Odell Beckham Jr. A two-sport star, Hayes and Jim Thorpe are the only players in NFL history to compete in the Olympics and be enshrined in Canton. A 3-time Pro Bowler for the Cowboys, Hayes introduced the NFL to straight-up speed receivers, whose primary purpose was to stretch the defense. Because of his blazing speed, defenses began to use zone schemes and the bump and run to try and contain the Olympic gold medalist. In an incredible list that includes Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and now Dez Bryant, Hayes was the first great Dallas receiver. Number 6, Mel Blount. The top defensive back on Chuck Noll Steelers in the 70s, Mel Blount was emboldened by the same toughness of more renowned teammates, Mean Joe Green and Jack Lambert. An aggressive cornerback, Blount was a key figure on one of the most dominant teams ever. Listed at 6'3", the 1989 Hall of Fame inductee used his size to stymie offenses by throwing wideouts off their routes. The first cornerback to be named Defensive Player of the Year, Blount was so dominant, the league enacted a rule to open the passing game. Coined the Mel Blount rule in 1978, wideouts were given 5 yards of space before cornerbacks could contact them. Number 5, Don Hudson. Arguably the greatest and most dominant player in league history, Don Hudson revolutionized the idea of wide receivers in the early days in the NFL. A charter member of both the College Football and NFL's Hall of Fame, Hudson is credited with creating the archetype of the modern wide receiver. Believed to be the first wideout to use fakes in his routes, as well as creating most of the modern-day routes, Hudson towered over the gridiron like Babe Ruth in baseball and Wilt Chamberlain in basketball. Hudson was also one of the first to go up and catch the ball rather than trapping it in his chest. Number 4, Junior Seau. One of the greatest defensive players of all time, Junior Seau's post-playing career certainly changed how the country looked at concussions in the NFL. A member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the 1990s All-Decade Team, Seau was a star primarily with the Chargers. A 12-time Pro Bowler, Seau was arguably the best linebacker of the 90s, yet his tragic suicide shook the sports world in 2012. While other players had tragically dealt with CTE before Seau, the star's popularity and young age had many fans, players, and officials stunned. Seau's brain tissue was studied, and the league has continued seeking ways to prevent the disease. Number 3, Lawrence Taylor. Possibly not only the greatest linebacker in NFL history, but its greatest defensive player, Lawrence Taylor instilled fear on defense, like Jim Brown and Jerry Rice did on offense. At 6'3" and about 240 pounds, LT attacked quarterbacks like no one ever had done before, while leading Bill Parcells' Giants. With such speed and strength, The 1986 MVP could get around slow-footed linemen and toss halfbacks like rag dolls. Due to his dominance, Taylor inspired pass rushing ends like Von Miller, and he also helped develop the need for coaches to pick bigger and more athletic offensive tackles. In Taylor's prime, linemen were barely bigger than him. Today, most linemen hover around the 300-pound mark. Number 2, Joe Namath. Widely considered the best quarterback in the history of the New York Jets, the NFL may have looked drastically different if not for Joe Namath. In the 60s and 70s, the fair-haired Namath was one of the game's best and first gunslingers in the AFL and NFL. Nicknamed Broadway Joe, Namath was a leading pitchman for advertisers, setting a trend followed by players like Peyton Manning. On the field, the Alabama standout led the Jets to a Super Bowl III win against the NFL's Colts, giving the former league validity against the old guard. Namath also was the first passer to throw over 4,000 yards. And number 1, Pete Gogolak. Who would have thought the most important player in NFL history would be a kicker? Likely the most unrecognizable player on this list. Without place kicker Pete Gogolak, the modern NFL would have looked drastically different. That's why he tops our list. A kicker for the New York teams, the Bills and Giants, the Budapest native was first to popularize the soccer-style kicking form. Prior to him, kickers approached the ball straight on, yet Gogolak's biggest impact came off the field. Amid an already tense rivalry between the AFL and the NFL, the AFL kicker signed with the NFL's Giants in 1966. After that, player poachings became rampant until the two leagues signed a league-shifting merger in June of 1966. Do you think there was an important player we missed in our rankings? Let us know in the comments section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.